Hey guys, and welcome to another video here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're going to be discussing the newly released CRJ update from Aerosoft, the release of a new payware aircraft, an older passenger and cargo aircraft, and the FlyByWire team's new engine update. So, let's get started. It's not been long since the Aerosoft team developed the CRJ and obviously released it, and it has been an absolute worldwide success. Loads of people are enjoying this aircraft, and the team at Aerosoft have brought out very quickly a brand new update to it. It's certainly not a hot fix. There is far too much covered in the list of things that have been updated to be considered a hot fix. The list is extensive, but I am going to cover a couple of those here in this video. So the exterior lights have been given a little bit of an overhaul. Obviously you'll probably notice those more during a nighttime flight, but it is nice that they've been given some attention to make those look a little bit better. You can now also delete constraints from the leg page, something you weren't able to do before, but obviously that has now been fixed. The aircraft has also now been given improved throttle control, which means that the N1 of the engines drops less when reducing your thrust lever. Now that doesn't sound like such a big deal. However, so many of us have been coming across from aircraft like the Airbus, the Dreamliner, all of which have auto thrust, and the CRJ of course does not have auto thrust at all, something which has been catching many pilots, myself included, out and finding it difficult to come to terms with and a little bit of a struggle. One of the things this aircraft does do is lose speed very quickly if it's not looked after, and this is something that the team have now updated a little bit, so your N1 will drop less, hopefully making it a little bit easier to control. So look forward to trying that out in future flights. The flight model for the spoilers has also been updated as well, so be sure to check that out, obviously when spoilers are deployed, something which you'll obviously find on your descent and when we've landed, etc. They have also fixed a crash to desktop issue which was occurring when you were entering a waypoint in the empty active flight plan. So, sorry, the alternate flight plan. So that's a crash to desktop issue that has been fixed. On the yoke then, we have these trim switches, which the first time I came into the aircraft, I was tapping away on these trim switches for nose up, nose down, to try and set that over here, and absolutely nothing was happening. This wasn't working. This was just for show. Well, I'm glad to say that with this new update you can now trim your trim settings using the nose up, nose down on the flight yoke. No more tapping away on the numeric keypad. So that's quite nice to see as well. They have also fixed on the EFB, something which is clearly not turned on for this video, the EFB flight deck sound settings, which you can obviously go in and set to your liking. But the flight deck sound settings on the EFB were not saving between flights. That has now been altered, so that's now you can save those, and it should be saved from flight to flight. They have also added a visual mouse click feedback to the EFB as well, so you'll know more clearly and easily when you're actually clicking and tapping away on the EFB. In order to get this update then, all you need to do is run the Aerosoft Updater program on your PC. This is a program that should have been installed at the same time as you installed the Aerosoft CRJ. So go and have a look for that. Very easy to update. It runs, it shows you the list of programs you've got from Aerosoft. You just select those and click the update button. Also recently updated then from Aerosoft is Berlin's Brandenburg Airport. Now this is pretty new, it's not been out very long at all, much like the CRJ, but the Brandenburg Airport does have a couple of little fixes as well which are now available, so if you have got this, it may be worth also running that Aerosoft updater program to go and update this airport so that you've got the latest fixes. And one of the things it does fix is missing waypoints and the ILS to the southern runway, so well worth going and grabbing. So what of the new payware aircraft that has been released on Sim Market recently? Well, it is the Embraer 110, or the Bandeirante. I think they call it that in Brazil. Bandeirante means pioneer here in English. So the Embraer 110 is a twin turboprop aircraft which usually carries between 50 and 21 passengers, made by the Brazilian company Embraer. First passenger model for this aircraft flew back in 1973 by an airline called Trans-Brazil, sadly now defunct and no longer with us. 494 of these aircraft were built, but production did end back in 1990 as it was superseded by the much newer Embraer 120. The aircraft itself has quite a steady cruising speed. It cruises between 200 and 220 knots and has a range of about 1,200 miles. One of the big selling points for this aircraft, particularly in remote places like Brazil, was that it could land and take off on runways that were less than 900 meters long, which I think here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, with all the stunning scenery that we've got, we could have great fun with these much shorter runways. So another payware decent aircraft which you can enjoy here in the simulator and doing some sort of isolated airport runs. Sounds like great fun to me. Now the liveries that are involved with this, we've got Tag Airlines, Air New Zealand Link, Logan Air, and it all comes as well, also comes in a freight version. So you've not just got the passenger version, you've also got a freight version as well. And if we take a little look at the inside, you can see it looks highly detailed. The developers do tell us that many of these instruments actually come from the default Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, so frame rate friendly, and as you can see from this picture, it features the Garmin GPS as well. But it looks really nice on the inside, very 1970s, as you would imagine with one of these older aircraft. And the outside model here looks really neat as well, so probably have a lot of fun having a nice new propeller aircraft to fly around with. It also features a fully detailed internal cabin, which is great as we can set up our own custom camera views to get the window seat of your liking, and yeah, enjoy the scenery below whilst we're flying these short haul routes. And as I previously said, it comes in a range of different liveries, so they're shown here. This is available from Sim Market. If you want to go and have a look at that, the link will be in the video description below. So the FlyByWire team then have recently told us that their engines have been updated to give us a more realistic fuel burn, and a big thing is that the engines now work independently of each other. So the exhaust gas temperature, for example, is not going to be the exact same either side, depending on even if the N1 percentage is the same. This is really cool because it means now that the FlyByWire team can get their engines working independently, not just for the Airbus A320 with 2 engines, but also the Airbus A380 when that comes with its 4 engines. So that's really good. It also gives them the ability, they want to start to add wear and tear to these engines, so the longer you run your aircraft, the more less efficient it becomes. I'm not completely sure how it is that they're going to add the ability to repair these engines, so stay tuned for that. What it does mean, of course, is during your flights, make sure you're checking your fuel levels, because you're probably a little bit more likely to run out of fuel. We knew from several of the live streams we've done that currently the Airbus A320nx could probably circumnavigate the globe, as it didn't really burn that much fuel. And I can't leave this video without pointing out the wonderful mods that have taken place for the Suez Canal with the stuck Evergreen tanker that we've just seen back there. So available on flightsim.to, that can now be encapsulated forever. The Evergreen tanker is of course now being moved, but you can go and add that mod there just if you wish, and go and buzz some ships that are all stuck waiting to enter the Suez Canal. The AI ship mod as well features worldwide AI traffic for ships. So if you do a lot of flights over large spans of open water, that could add something else to your simulator, giving you something else to have a look at. And it's quite a large download as well, so I believe that's going to be quite extensive to the amount of traffic that you're going to see down below when flying over water. Okay guys, that's about it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and please, if you could, do consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on the notifications for our next videos, and of course for when our streams go live, for the live flights that we do. Thanks very much for watching guys. I shall see you all again very soon. Bye bye for now.